The Red Sox are inching closer and closer to the playoffs, and Craig Breslow was in Toronto yesterday answering all of the questions, giving us all of the injury updates, and we're going to talk about them all in today's video. Before we do you want Roman Anthony to get healthy as soon as possible? We do have a Roman Anthony injury update. That's the first thing we're going to talk about in today's video. If you want Roman Anthony to get healthy ASAP, all you got to do, go down like today's video. Welcome back into another edition of the Red Sox Rundown. I'm your host, Jack. Thank you so much for watching the video. Like I've already said, bunch of injury updates, some good, some bad. Then we're going to talk about the game, the Red Sox win, and a lot happened in the wild card standings last night. Let's get into Roman Anthony first, though. Like I said, Craig Breslow was in Toronto, only 5 games left now in the rest of the season, and he gave updates on Roman Anthony, Brennan Bernardino, Dustin May, Jordan Hicks, all of the above, and here's what he had to say about Roman Anthony. We talked about Roman Anthony a few days ago and talked about how he had been walking a little bit, had a real good walk, as Alex Cora called it, and didn't seem like he was really that close. And I do think Breslow kind of echoes that in these quotes. Let's get into the quotes. He said, being around him a little bit, you can see he's getting more comfortable. When it first happened, you look at him, you could tell he was in quite a bit of discomfort and pain. That has subsided, but there's still quite a bit of room to get to in terms of baseball activities. So, yeah, it's not a great update, if I'm being completely honest, because it's great that the comfort, the pain and discomfort are gone. You never want anyone to be in pain, obviously. It's great that that has subsided, but the fact that there's still quite a bit of room, according to Breslow, in terms of getting to any baseball activities, you got 5 games left, and then you're in the wild card. Like, I don't. They were talking about the ALCS and things like that. Tim Healy put out a tweet today after these quotes, and he said, I think that that's kind of asking a lot of Anthony. So yeah, it doesn't seem great. And look, you don't want to rush him. You don't want him to aggravate it again. Obviously, you want him to be fresh and ready for next season. But if you can get him back a little sooner, if you can get him back in time for the wild card round, that'd be great. But again, that's next week. I don't think that that's going to happen. Here's a little more from Breslow on Anthony as well. He says he's making progress. He's getting a little more comfortable every day, but it's an injury that we knew would take some time to heal and get back on the field. He and the medical staff are working as hard as they can to try to accelerate the timeline to make that possible. It really does, and I saw someone, I forget who it is, so I'm not going to be able to give credit, but I saw someone tweet that, yeah, this sounds more and more like the 6 weeks in 4 to 6 weeks, which is what the original diagnosis was. It was going to be a 4 to 6 week recovery. This does sound more like the 6, maybe even more week recovery, because, again, if the pain and discomfort is gone, but you still have quite a ways away before you get to baseball activities, at this point, is it even worth it? Is it even worth the accelerating and the, overly pushing that could lead to complications in the future? I just don't know if that's the case. And again, you're going to be going on the road. Unless something miraculous happens in the next 5 games, you're more than likely going to be going on the road, playing someone in the wild card round, whether that be a New York, whether that be a Seattle, whether that be a Detroit or a Cleveland or one of these teams. And guys, let's be real. Like, how do we feel going on the road against any of these teams? I think New York's the one I feel the best about. Other than that, I don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Let's see if we get another update in the next few days. I would say there is a 0.000000% chance, basically 0% chance that Roman would play in the wild card round. And I would say it's a 0.0000000 like 5% chance we see him in the ALDS if the Red Sox get that far. So you guys let me know. When do we see Roman Anthony play next? Type P if you think it's in the playoffs, which is, again, it's twofold. Does he recover quick enough, and do the Red Sox make it far enough for him to rejoin? Type P if you think it's going to be the playoffs, or type S if you think it's going to be for spring training. You let me know down below in the comments. Look, I've been a big pessimist over the last few weeks. Hand up, yeah, been a pessimist. I'm going to type my S for spring training. Like these updates don't sound very good. They don't sound very convincing. So just take the L. Don't risk any further injury. We'll see in Fort Myers in February. It will be okay. It's not the end of the world. But you let me know. P for playoffs, S for spring training. I want to hear your thoughts down below. An injury update that's good. We'll see what the timeline is. Brennan Bernardino, with that lat strain that he suffered a little while back, is ramping up his activities and getting ready to go. Here's what Breslow had to say about Bernardino. He said, symptoms have completely subsided. We've obviously up against a bit of a time crunch here, but he's pushing as hard as he can, which is no surprise, just given his willingness to take the ball in any situation all season. That's great news. Bernie is a very valuable piece in your bullpen, lefty piece in your bullpen that takes the ball whenever he's asked. He doesn't care about where it is. It doesn't matter if he's opening the game. It doesn't matter if he's coming in mop-up duty. It doesn't matter if he's in a high-leverage situation. He's been one of your most consistent relievers all season long. To get him back would be a huge boost. Now, your bullpen as a whole doesn't really have a lot of holes at all. So, I'm perfectly okay if Bernie doesn't come back. I think he'd be a boost, which would be great, but I do have actually a lot of confidence in the bullpen. We'll talk about the bullpen from last night's game as well, being absolute nails. So, would it be a boost? Yes. Is it the end of the world if he doesn't come back? No. But, it never hurts to get back one of your relievers that is willing to do literally anything, or have him on that, be ready squad that's down in Fort Myers. Because, if an injury happens, God forbid, you've got an option. So it's going to be interesting to see. I would completely welcome Bernie back with open arms. Who I would not welcome back with open arms is Dustin May and Jordan Hicks, two of your biggest failures this season in terms of scouting and development and everything. Just absolute dumpster fires if I'm being legit. Craig Breslow gave an update on both of them, and yeah, not a great update if I'm saying so. Okay, let me rephrase that. People getting better off of injuries is always a good update, but them being optimistic they might be able to come back, I don't love. Here's what Breslow had to say about Dustin May in particular. He said he's making good progress. He's here in Fort Myers. That's just from a kind of support and resource standpoint that makes the most sense for him to be there. But we'll ramp up the intensity, have him face live hitters, and then we'll reevaluate how it goes from there. Jordan Hicks also has begun throwing off a mount. I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay. You guys can stay in Fort Myers. It's all good. I think the way this team is right now, the way the makeup is, I'm good. I'm okay. I don't need to do that. I'm happy they are getting better with their injuries. You never want injuries. You always want people to heal up and have opportunities in the future. But I don't need those opportunities to be with the Red Sox this year. I think the rotation is solid enough. It's as solid as it would be. You don't need to bring Dustin May back in that fray. And the bullpen, like I've already mentioned with Bernardino, it has been nails as of late. So you definitely don't need the erratic nature of Jordan Hicks in your bullpen. So I'm good, but I guess it's good to see that they're healing and starting to rehab. But let's, kind of like with Anthony, let's just kind of take the L here. And I don't think they need to see the mound again this year for the Red Sox. Do you want Dustin May and Jordan Hicks back on this team? Type B if you want them back, or type A for absolutely not. I'm typing my A, but you let me know. Do you want either Dustin May or Jordan Hicks or both back in the Red Sox pitching staff to end the season? That's it with the injury updates. We're going to get into the game here in a second, but first, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like I said, yesterday was my birthday. Thank you all for all the great messages on the video yesterday. I have to go back and respond to all of them. I really do appreciate it. We did gain some subs. We are 20 subscribers away from 5,700 subs. So if you have not already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. The plan is, as of now, this could change if the Red Sox are still fighting and their playoff status has not been solidified on Sunday for game 162. The plan is for me to go live during an NFL Sunday for game 162 if their playoff fate has not already been sealed. So Make sure you don't miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if they do make the playoffs, we're going to be live for the playoff games as well. Also, you already know what you're getting. Daily recap shorts, daily long-form videos, recaps, short-form content whenever there's a move, an injury update, all of the above. That's what you get here on the channel. Non-stop coverage, especially this time of year with the playoffs coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button. Join the family right now. Red Sox win 4-1. Big win. Scrappy win. Win you needed. Your magic number, according to Tom Caron, is now down to 4. If Houston loses tonight, which has not happened at the time of recording this, they have not started yet. They might have started, but they're not. They have started. They're in the top of the third, but they're not close to finishing yet. If Houston were to lose, your magic number would be down to 3. So that's really good news with 5 games left. It was a huge, huge win, and a lot happened in the playoff picture last night. And for you to win, for you to not lose any ground, but to gain ground, is a big dub. So let's talk about the pitching first. Lucas Giolito, that was a really, really laborious game for Giolito. 4 2/3, second outing in a row he can't get out of the 5th. 3 hits, though, only 3 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, and 3 Ks. He labored through that outing, but he never collapsed. It was a big bend, but don't break type outing for him. A lot of jams, a lot of base runners on for errors. The Red Sox had 2 errors last night, which on most nights you'd lose that game, but you showed some poise last night and you got the dub. But he got out of multiple jams that were huge. Bases loaded in the second with 2 outs, strikes out George Springer. Like big opportunities for Toronto that they didn't capitalize on. And a lot of that is because Giolito clutched up when he needed to. So while it was kind of a hard outing to watch, again, a very laborious outing for Lucas Giolito, he did what he needed to do to keep you in the game. He did not let anything snowball, and he only gave up 1 run, which was awesome to see. Only 3 hits, that's impressive against what is supposed to be one of the best lineups in all of baseball. So, tip of the cap to Giolito. Didn't love using 4 relievers tonight, but it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. Every game from here on out is a playoff game. Your bullpen, no hit the Blue Jays. Justin Wilson gives you an inning and a third, no hits. Garrett Whitlock comes in, gives you an inning, the 7th, no hits. And this trio right here of Whitlock, Slayton, Chapman to end the game is absolute chills. I would love to see this in the playoffs. Whitlock gives you a perfect 7th. Slayton gives you a perfect 8th. Chapman gives you a perfect 9th. This bullpen, I think, is one of the most underrated bullpens in all of baseball. No one's talking about this bullpen, and they looked fantastic last night. Offensively, kind of a slow night, honestly. 9 hits, so you out-hit the Blue Jays by 6 hits, which is great. 3 walks, also nice to see. 9 Ks, not ideal. 3 of them from Duran, 2 of them from Romy, 2 of them from Rafaela. So, 7 of the 9 Ks were from 3 people. So it is what it is. But it was a lot of struggling, slumping players that really did it for you tonight. Masataka Yoshida goes 2 for 4 and scores a run, which was a key run at the time. Nathaniel Lowe, who we were all heavily criticizing after his horrible performance on Sunday, is kind of the key player in this entire game. He goes 2 for 2, scores a run, has 2 RBIs and 2 walks. He had the best night of anybody. And then it's Carlos Narvaez, who was, I believe, 0 for 19 coming into an at-bat where he gets a 2-run hit to open the game up for the Red Sox. Those are 3 players, maybe not Yoshida as much, but Nathaniel Lowe and Carlos Narvaez have both been struggling heavily over the last few weeks, and for them both to be the 2 biggest catalysts, honestly the biggest catalyst, accounting for all 4 runs, was awesome. And that's kind of a spark that you need. You need everyone in this lineup to contribute at some point in this next 5-game stretch, because as we see, one person's not going to take over. As much as I'd love for Duran or Story or Bregman to absolutely take over, none of them are doing that. They'll have games, but they're not putting together stretches of 3, 4, 5 games where they're just going to take over. Roman Anthony ain't walking through that door either. So you need everyone to contribute in some way, shape, or form over the next week. And Tonight or last night, it was Lowe, and it was Narvaez. You got to keep that up. You got to keep that up. Someone's got to contribute. Someone's got to be the guy. Who's it going to be? We'll see. That answer will be revealed again later tonight with Garrett Crochet on the mound. I said in my video yesterday, how confident are we that they're going to win a series in the next week? And I said, I don't feel very confident. Well, Crochet's on the mound tonight, and you won game 1. So everything can change in one day. We'll see what happens. But like I said, your magic number is down to 4. By the time you're watching this video, if Houston loses, it could be down to 3. But let's look at the wildness that happened in baseball last night. We're going to go through the scores. We're going to go through the standings. A lot happened. A lot changed. So here's what happened. Yankees win 3-2 on a walk-off. The White Sox are a horrible team, and they showed it. The Guardians beat the Tigers 5-2. We will read about this collapse in baseball history books in the next few decades. Like the Tigers, I believe it was a 12.5 game lead last month, and they just lost the lead, and now they're in the wild card. Like that collapse is going to be studied in decades from now. So like I already said, Houston is playing right now against the Athletics. It's 1-1 in the top of the third. And then Seattle, who I would say has locked up the West, is playing the Rockies. And those are the only games of substance or of consequence because, like I said, it's down to 4 teams now. It's 4 teams for 3 spots, and that's just what it's going to be. The standings right now, the Guardians have taken over ownership of the Central, which actually is not the best case scenario for the Red Sox because the Red Sox own the tiebreaker over the Guardians. They don't own the tiebreaker over the Tigers, who are now the 3rd team in the wild card. So that's not the best case scenario for you. Now, the best case scenario for you is to just keep winning and not have to worry about outside factors. That's not the world we live in. Your magic number at the time of recording this is still 4 with 5 games left. Not ideal, to say the least. But as it stands, you've got a 1.5 lead on Houston. If Houston loses tonight, again, you guys will know at the time of watching this video, then you've got a 2-game lead, and your magic number's down to 3. But we'll see what happens. Right now, since you won, you're in a favorable spot. But you can't get complacent. You got to keep winning ball games. You control your own destiny. Win the freaking game. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. Do the Red Sox win this series? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Yeah, I've been the pessimist, but damn, I'm going to be the optimist. Crochet on the mound, I'm going to type my Y for yes. But you let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Do the Red Sox win this series? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll be back later tonight with a short recap, and then you already know, tomorrow morning we'll be back with another video, hopefully, talking about how the Red Sox magic number is like a game, 2 games. We'll see. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out. We'll see you tomorrow, and until next time, go Sox.